Sydney's down there in the fog somewhere. It's like someone's done some sort of a clean-up job down in the canyon. There's a canyon down here called Butterbox Canyon. People go down there like this, ropes and wetsuits. It's a pretty stunning area. That's a whole other video. Butterbox Canyon they call that. So a pretty significant area out here, Mount Hay. Anyway, the rain's still coming down. Better get back before those hills are too muddy to get back up again. There was a big fire through here about a year and a half ago. Epic fire. It was all over the news. It was all over Australia. It was the biggest fires we've ever had. So you can see how quickly these eucalypts, they're all completely black, but now they're covered in leaves just sprouting straight out of their trunks. They're amazingly resilient. Of course, bushfire is part of the cycle of Australian native flora and fauna, and it's all learned to survive pretty well. Still, these fires are getting, well, they're bigger than they've ever been, the last lot of fires. So some areas of the Australian bushland haven't recovered because even in an environment where there's trees that and all kinds of vegetation that has evolved over millions of years to survive the natural cycle of fire, the fires are getting so potent that they can't. Just crazy stuff. Anyway, it's coming back pretty good here. Some of those little yellow things you see, bright yellow flowers you see by the side of the track, they usually come out at this time of year. They're called the wattle, native wildflower. So of course we're in the middle of winter right now. There's one. Beautiful. And that's the national floral emblem of Australia. When you come here in October, November, you see all kinds of other wildflowers. Banksias come out, waratahs, all kinds of peas. But at this time of year, yeah, you get the wattles come out. I don't know why they decide to do it in the middle of winter, but hey, that's what they do. There's some flowers out here you might see in a later video called the Mountain Devil. They're red, and if you get to them before the ants, they're full of delicious nectar. Tastes a bit like sherbet. Just going to stop here for those of you that aren't from Australia. Park it. Oh, the spot's not going to fall down at some. You probably can't tell on the camera, but the surface here is pretty uneven, and yeah, she's still up. Alright, this is a good example here. This tree here, type of eucalypt. You can see when the fires come through, they burn the insides out. Well, it just naturally does burn out, because the Australian environment by and large is very nutrient poor, so these trees have learnt to survive in a very nutrient poor environment. This is all just sand. It doesn't look like it, it looks lush, but it's just a layer of vegetation on basically sand. So you can see this part of the tree, it's alive and well. The exterior and the inside, what eucalypts do is they just don't even bother with it. They just bring the sap up the outside, and it becomes like a frame of a house. You get a lot of insects like moths that live inside these layers of bark, and this is them eating their way through. Leaves little scribbly marks. Some people call this kind of stuff the scribbly gum. Yeah, so you can see up the tree, you can see that one over there. One of the branches is black, it's about to fall down. What eucalypts do is they get rid of anything that's not helping them get to the sun. So this one here, you can see there's a black branch, there's another black branch. There's quite a few. They just get rid of them. It's a waste of time for them, and they just keep going up to the ones that are going to gain them the most sunlight. You can see this one, the branch has fallen down. And yeah, the things are hollow. A lot of firefighters will call a tree like that, if they see a big tree like that and it's hollow and it's burnt out, a widow make it, because damn thing, if it gets burned inside, can cook the whole thing and it'll fall down on them. But also in any good times, you don't camp underneath the eucalyptus. Like for example, that branch there, if it fell on your tent, probably wouldn't be your best night ever. So yeah, there's also casuarinas and stuff. This one over here is a banksia. They're all pretty resilient to hardship. They're very, very tough. In fact, I know that in Israel they used eucalyptus to sort of reclaim the desert, stabilize the soil. I've seen them in California. I believe they're a pest there because the damn things are so tough. But here in Australia, that's just what we call native environment. It's not so badly burnt around here. Hello, mate. Yeah, compared to the section back there, this didn't really get a burn at all, did it? Maybe just a bit of the scrub down the bottom there. Alright, here we go. Anyway, Anyway, for those of you that aren't from around here, the Blue Mountains are, most of it is encapsulated within a World Heritage listed national park. And it's listed for a number of reasons. I'm no expert on this stuff, but I believe that the economic biodiversity, the geological history, one of the more famous tourist landmarks in this area is called the Three Sisters, and you get thousands of people every year coming from all over the world to see that, the Three Sisters. Incredible rock escarpment formations all the way around this area. Plus, there's the canyon, so this is all sand, as you can see. All the cliffs are formed by sandstone, which was way back in the dawns of time, back before humans. This whole area was a riverbed, the river delta, formed by what was an enormous river, the biggest river in the continent, that flowed out from the centre of Australia in an area near Alice Springs, the West MacDonnell Ranges. But you know, 350 million years ago, which is a fair time, we had a mountain range bigger than the Himalayas. And of course, Australia's been moving out on its own continental plate, and it's been eroding ever since. So as that mountain range eroded, it formed a delta, and that formed what they call the Sydney Basin, big sand delta. And then this sand delta, getting slippery around here, got pushed up like a bulldozer by the granite belt, that's the Great Dividing Range. Pushed all this sand up, formed a big sandy plateau instead of a river delta, which is then eroded, and canyons got formed through water and wind and formed what is now the beautiful Blue Mountains. You probably can't see a lot of it on this video because I'm just looking at the track, but yeah, stunning place. I believe it's also been listed due to cultural significance. There's a lot of Aboriginal Australian art and traces of their existence here. Of course, Aboriginal people have been coming to this area and moving through this area for at least 40,000 years, 60,000 years. All this stuff, of course, goes way back beyond as far as carbon dating can measure, so they're finding out more information all the time. But I can tell you, the Aboriginal people here in Australia have been living with the land and as one with the land for a bloody long time. This is a bit how you go on here, so bends in his. If you know where to look, you'll find all kinds of traces of Aboriginal habitation around here. On a lot of the cliff tops you can find areas where they just sit, because like anyone else, the ancient people of Australia used to enjoy a good view. And they'd sit and they can sharpen their spear tips on the sandy rocks, and you can often find markings of that. Of course, that's not as spectacular as cave paintings and what have you, but it's still interesting, and it still shows the connection these people had and continue to have with the land. I don't normally talk in these videos, but once I start, I bloody keep gabbling on. It's pretty slippery right now. It's normally kind of gravel, this road. This fine sand's nice and wet. Some of it's okay, like this section just here looks okay. Sometimes it just gets into a fine layer of mud, and it has caught me unawares in the past, so I'm just taking it easy. can see on these rock formations up here, it's all layers. Down there they call that a hanging swamp. There's some animals down there, like the Blue Mountains water skink and some flowers and what have you, other reptiles that you don't find anywhere else in the world. So we've got to protect them and appreciate them. Geez, the fire must have come up this gully. You can see the regrowth down low. Would acted like a chimney if the wind was going in the right direction. On the way out here, this bit was full of puddles and mud, so I'll keep my eyes open. It's around here somewhere. Oh yeah. Drained off a little bit. Hopefully going on the steeper sections a bit further up, I'll be able to get this big old magic flying carpet up there. I'm running these Motos Tractionator GPS they call them, so they're, you know, they're a road tyre with chunky sides. They're pretty good. I guess you could compare them to the Heidenau K60 Scout. Done a lot of Ks on them. You just wouldn't call them a dedicated off-road tyre by any stretch of the imagination. So they've got a centre strip, so when you're going uphill in the mud, it's not their strong point. Everything else I found they're pretty good. I'd get them again for what it's worth. This video, it's my second video, so I'm just experimenting with the whole talking thing. If it sounds horrible, you'll know why. I haven't got a mic hooked up or anything. I just got the camera. Whoa, she's slippery like eel. Yeah, I just got the camera attached to my chin, which is a bit annoying because when I'm sitting down, all you can see is the windshield. Here's what it looks like sitting down. Yeah. So there's some tyre tracks here. I haven't seen the car that came through. They must have been in and out before I got here. Car or four-wheel drive or whatever it is. Okay. I think another reason the Blue Mountains is World Heritage listed is the wildlife too. All kinds of interesting bird life and snakes, lizards. The back end's wobbling around a bit. Yeah. If you've ever got the time to come out here and have a look around, you'll probably see beautiful diamond pythons. Of course, we've got the poisonous snakes and stuff too, but the diamond pythons are really spectacular. Look, here comes old mate and his peat plates. You can do it, brother. He might be be going. There's a nice bushwalk. He was just pulling into that car park back there. I believe that was the car park for Lockley Pylon. It's a nice, I think it's about 6 k's in each direction. Day walk out here in the Blueies, and you get amazing views of the Grose Valley. I'd suggest much better views than what you've been seeing on this video today, which is just looking at a four-wheel drive track. But hey, I just make these videos for anyone who rides, is thinking about going to a certain area and they want to have a quick look at what the road's like. Here's what the road's like. I watch so many of them Simpson Desert ones, you know, where they're just crossing the desert. I just have it on the video and it goes for about 4 hours or something. Just riding. It's a nice backdrop. Turn the volume down. I love this bike, but it just sort of sounds like a tractor most of the time. It's not what you'd call an exciting sounding bike. But hey, you can't please everyone all the time, can you? Sometimes the tractor's good. Conditions like this, bloody fantastic. Flatbed. Who's coming the other way around here though, of course. There's only really room for 1.5 vehicles, so sometimes they decide they want to use the room for 2. Have a look at first gear for this hill. In case someone's coming the other way, I don't want to overdo it. But also don't want to underdo it. Otherwise you won't get up. That's the tractor in action. Looks like the rain stopped. It feels a bit drier coming back than when it was going out, so that's nice. probably not picking it up, but every now and again we're doing a little bit of, I don't know, let's say making an S shape in the trail. It's just a thin layer of mud sometimes, and just pushes the bike left or right. Caught me unawares one time. I come out here in the rain and yeah, went arse over, did a Superman. The bike did a somersault or two. I'm not sure how many. I was off doing my own thing in the air at the time. I always look at these hills and go, where do I do it? Because I left a set of headphones here. I was listening to bloody Steppenwolf or something, having a good time, and probably wasn't concentrating the way I should have. So any time it rains out here, I ride pretty conservatively. I'm going to be honest, I ride pretty conservatively most of the time. Because this thing's heavy. Civilization, power lines. Go easy in case someone's come another way. We're all in lockdown at the moment, so we are allowed to get out of the house if we're going to exercise, and motorcycling is a legitimate form of exercise, and I believe this is the national park boundary here. I believe we can go out as of today within 10 kilometres of home, 10 kilometres. What's that, 6 miles for you mile people, 6 and a bit or something, I don't know. Anyway, this trail, the start of the trail is about a block from where I live. So it's good, hop on the bike, come out here, and pretty sure I'm not doing anything illegal. Oh yeah, look at this, made road. Civilization. Yeah, so this is close to town. You can see there's people coming out here in just regular two-wheel drive cars, so nothing too challenging. I reckon you could probably ride out to Mount Hay on just a regular street bike if you like. Maybe not do it on a rainy day like today, but any other day you'd be right. They grade this road, I think they do it twice a year. Maybe it's once a year, I don't know. You guys saw the condition. You can ride, you can do it on a two-wheel drive. Two-wheel drive car, not bike that is. I'd like to try a two-wheel drive bike. Alright, here we are back at the bitumen. I'm going to put the ABS back on and put it back in road setting. There we go, normal, road, sit down. Ah, the comfort. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're in the Blue Mountains, you can come up here, have a look out at Mount Hay. It's a nice little side trip. Beats walking around looking for the best coffee. Alright, signing off, speak to you later.